Hey everyone, so I thought I'd do a favourites video for you, combining like January and February. I haven't done one since like my best of 2012. I recently purchased Prep and Prime Moisture Infusion Serum. I love this. I just think it's lovely and hydrating and so light on the skin. Really lovely for any skin type, even very oily skin type, because it hydrates without making it like rich or heavy or oily or anything like that. It's just a really lovely product and I love the packaging and all that. I also got a couple of Soap and Glory products that I bought about 3 of them, and there's there's one that I really like, which is this guy. It's the Feel Good Factor SPF 25. I've been using this maybe every second day for my sun protection and moisturization, just because there's another product that I'm absolutely loving as well. But this is just a really nice moisturizer with an SPF in it. It's a 25 SPF, so it's kind of good for this time of the year, for anyone who is maybe on the paler side, and it has antioxidants and vitamins and minerals and stuff like that in it, so it's kind of feeding your skin as you apply it. Feels really lovely on the skin. Show you the other kind of daily moisturizer I've been using, which is this Clinique Super Defense SPF 25. I told you before how I was planning on getting it. There's loads in the pot. It's a 50ml pot, and even though it's like kind of around the €30 mark here, it's well worth it. It is so hydrating. It's one of those products that when you apply it on the skin, it almost feels like you're wetting the skin as you're applying the product, even though it's not like a watery product. It is definitely more of a cream, but it obviously has so much moisture infused in it that it does apply actual, like, you can feel that there's physical moisture on your skin. It's really lovely. It's one of these anti-aging ones because it hydrates so intensely, and it does protect you against further sun damage and stuff like that, which does cause wrinkles. But I love this guy. I'd say if I had to choose between the two, I would choose this. Then for the other Soap and Glory product that I was totally blown away by, it's this Hocus Pocus Instant Visual Floss Softening Lotion. So when I was trying to describe this before in another video, it's basically like an in-between MAC Strobe Cream and Strobe Liquid, but nicer. I actually prefer this. It's a 30ml bottle. I can't remember the price exactly. It says you can use it alone as a cheekbone highlighter, mixed with a moisturizer as a gorgeous skin brightener, or just blend in with your foundation. What I tend to do is just moisturize my face, and then I literally apply this all over my face. It gives the most beautiful luminescence. I could show you here, but I don't think it'll really show up. It looks just white, and then when you blend it in, it just has that beautiful kind of pearlescence. If anyone knows the MAC Strobe Cream, the way it has that gorgeous slight pink pearlescence to it, this just has the same kind of effect. I think it just enhances the boniness of my hand though there. So, but I'd highly recommend that to anyone who's looking for a really nice facial highlighter, and I find that it's really nice and hydrating as well on the skin. It's not drying, kind of like the way I find the MAC Strobe liquid. I find that can be a bit drying. Then the final skincare product I have, now I will say it's for dry skin, so I don't use this on a daily basis. It's more for nighttime and not every night. It's kind of when my skin is feeling a little bit drier. Most nights I'm still using my Vichy Idealia, kind of a skin tone correcting moisturizer, which I adore. But this guy here, it's a Nutritic Intense Reach formulation, and it's meant for very dry skin. Again, it's a 50ml jar, so you get loads in it. It's not that expensive. I think it's about 19 or 20. My mum loves it. She's would have obviously more like drier skin, aged skin. I love it for the nights that I am on the drier side. I wouldn't use it all the time, but it is lovely, and it's definitely lovely for anyone with drier skin. So my mum's still going to be testing that out. I'm testing it out, and then I will be doing my blog post on it. That's all the skincare products. Now, as far as foundations, there's a few that I have kind of been dipping into more so than any of the others. Well, these are pretty much the only ones I've constantly been using over the last 2 months. First of all, this is what I'm wearing today. And it's kind of, it's in my little drawer thing in front of me here. And I had it for ages, and I used it maybe once or twice, and then just kind of put it away, and kind of said I'd leave it until I'm kind of through testing out other ones. I went back to it maybe about a month ago, and I've just been loving it. It's the Max Factor Miracle Touch Liquid Illusion Foundation. So it looks like a cream. There you go. It's in a little jar. 11.5 grams of product. And I use the colour Creamy Ivory, which is the lightest one, number 40. It You would assume it kind of looks like it might be a bit too pink for me. It's quite a neutral colour. I would have a little bit more yellow on my skin, but when I put it on my face, it's a lovely light colour. So what it does is it just kind of tones down the sallowness of my face, because my face is a bit darker, a good bit darker, nearly a shade darker than my neck, and it actually kind of neutralises that. So I actually love it. It is one that can be used wet. It comes with a little sponge on top. I can't remember the price of these, but I think you might be talking up to around maybe the €18 mark. Maybe 20. Comes with a little sponge in the lid, which is dead handy. You can use the sponge wet, obviously, if you want a sheer application, or you can use it dry. What I've been applying it with is my beloved Celia Birthwell for Boots foundation brush, or any kind of similar foundation brush, but this is the one I like just because it's a bit smaller, and I apply it where I need it. I don't even powder it, which is crazy. It's not greasy, which a lot of these creams I find tend to be. I really am enjoying this formulation. I think it's such a nice product. It's a lovely daytime foundation. I'd say it's more of a sheer to medium coverage. You can build up on it a little bit, like apply a little bit more where you need it. I still needed concealer on like blemishes on my cheeks and chin area and stuff like that, but I still think it's lovely. I think if you're extremely oily, maybe avoid it, or definitely use primers and stuff like that. I didn't bother using primers, I actually used the Hocus Pocus underneath. You know, you could powder or whatever, so the fact that I do get an oily T-zone, but I can be normal to dry everywhere else, it still lasts fine in the T-zone. Obviously there can be transference issues if you rub your nose or whatever, so that'll always happen if you don't set products with powder, but that's enough of waffling about that. When I found out that this guy by Catrice, which is their Infinite Matte up to 18 Hours Makeup, their foundation in the number 10 light beige. Now I've heard different people saying that the entire line has been discontinued, and a couple of people said that it's just this shade, which is the number 10, the lightest shade, has been discontinued. Either way, this particular one is going to be gone. So I started using it up. I love this. It's an oil-free makeup with long-lasting matte effect qualities, but it's not like a totally flat, horrible, like powdery looking matte by any means. It's just a really lovely cheap foundation, and cheap in price, not in quality. So I think I'm just going to have to go down and pick up another couple of bottles of this if they have it locally before they get rid of it, because I really rate this foundation. I think it'll be brilliant for anyone with kind of normal to oily skin. If you're very dry, you probably could wear it, but you need to prep your skin really well underneath, and there's other ones that would suit you better, so I wouldn't even bother. But I love it, and it's only about €5 or €6, so I really am sad that they're getting rid of it. I started using my Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum again recently, and I'm loving it. I just love how it feels on the skin. I've been using it on clients a lot, especially for people whose skin has suffered over the winter period where it's been colder and stuff like that, and they're maybe a little bit on the drier side, a little bit dull. This just gives the most beautiful luminous finish. I actually used it on a friend of mine this morning, and she loved it. She would normally go for the Studio Sculpt foundation because she would have a very dry skin type, and she really loved how this looked. So, and I thought it would look amazing on her as well. Then on the flip side, you can use it on people who are more combination, because I use it on myself happily. Just prep underneath the areas that are oily, and you know, obviously use a powder and stuff like that. But I adore my Healthy Mix range anyhow. And then one more product, foundation product I wanted to mention quickly is this guy, the number 7 Stay Perfect foundation, because I've been using it on brides and in bridal trials lately. I love how this photographs. I'm really in love with it. If there's any professional makeup artists out there in UK or in Ireland, and I believe you can get the number 7 range in America as well, but if you're looking for a really lovely medium coverage, like it's a buildable one, so it doesn't go on really heavy, but you can definitely build it up. A long-lasting, low SPF foundation. This is it. What does it say? It says, picture perfect skin from morning till night, ultra reliable moisturising foundation. It's just lovely on the skin. It's hard to explain. It's one of those ones that it probably does feel kind of hydrating, but it doesn't. It's not like in any way greasy or very fluid or water or anything like that on, but on the flip side, it's not very dry or anything like that. It's one of those ones that I'd highly recommend anyone go in and get a sample of if you can. But it's the Stay Perfect foundation. I think you'll pay around €20 for it maybe. And of course it'll be different in different parts of the world. But I love this. I have 4 shades now for my kit. I have the Calico, which would be my shade, the Warm Ivory, which would be like an NC20. And then I have a beige and a warm beige, I think. So, or deeply beige, and beautiful, beautiful shades. They're all lovely neutral as well. They're not too yellow or pink or anything like that, which I really, really appreciate. But they do come in like warm and cool shades. They're just not very warm or very cool, if you know what I mean, which I think is great. So that's that guy, and it comes in a pump. So that's the end of my foundations. Oh yeah, quickly, my Pro Longwear concealer. Again, this has just kind of been overtaking all my other concealers recently, because I've been using it a lot in bridal trials and in bridal work, that it's keeping it really fresh in my mind about how amazing it is. And I have been using it a lot on myself. In the video I just put up of the MAC concealers, I was wearing, my face was practically fully covered in this guy without any other foundation. You don't need a lot of product, it's so concentrated that a little will do a lot of coverage. You want to see the pros and cons of it, just have a look at that video that was up just before this on the MAC concealers. I'm not going to bother about face powders because I'll just blather on about the same ones I always blather on about. So cheek products, there's two MAC ones that I really, really love. Right here, it's Easy Manner Blush. It was out with the Glamour Days collection, I think, at the end of last year. But again, the reason it kind of I became familiar with it again, because I've had it for a little while, is because I used it on a bride and I absolutely adored how it looked, and I've been using it on myself a lot. It's kind of like a, I don't want to say peachy, but yeah, a slight peachy pink, but a very neutral dusky blush. It's just really, really beautiful and natural and on. Beautiful as a bridal blush. That's why I like it, and I like the finish because it's a satin finish, so it's not really, really flat and matte, but it's not going to be too light reflective in photographs, and it just gives a really, really lovely flush to the skin. So of course that one was limited, but another one that I would use that would be similar a lot on brides would be Blush Baby. So that one would give a very, very similar effect, and I really like that. Then the new Archie Girls collection, which is on counter at the moment, has some beautiful products in it. The blushes are lovely. These is a beauty powder, pearl matte face powder. They're kind of like beauty powders. So that's the Archie's Girls packaging. This is the Flatter Me one. So it's the Veronica. No, it's the Betty face powder. The Veronica one is gorgeous as well. It's actually more of a cool tone. So this highlighter part, which takes up most of the powder, is like a light, cool pearly pink, and then the hearts in the inner corner are more of a cool like magenta kind of pink. And then this is the Betty, I might get confused no, this is the Betty one, and this is more of a peachy tone, so it's like more the kind of peachy tanned girl next door kind of thing. Gorgeous, gorgeous shade. This will be the most beautiful highlighter on anyone who has a little bit more colour than me, I'd say, so definitely on brides. I think this will look stunning. I just think it's lovely, and of course, who can resist that packaging? It's perfect for kind of Valentine's Day kind of timing, so I think that is just gorgeous. And then another product from that same range that's out at the moment, this is another Betty product. Yeah, and this is one of their lipsticks, and I've been wearing this a good bit lately. I wore this in that MAC concealer video, even though it looked much cooler in there, and I'll explain why. This is the Betty Bright lipstick. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous like coral pink lipstick. It's a little bit like Impassioned. How I tend to wear it is over magenta lip liner, so that it comes out a little bit cooler on the skin, or on the lips, but it's still lovely like that. Really lovely, really gorgeous. I just love the quality payoff of it and how long it lasts and its opaqueness and everything. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I might as well show you the rest of the lip products. I kind of been going through a lot of lip products lately. One, I was topping up a lot of red lipsticks because I'm going to be doing a video soon on red lipstick. And also, I'm just kind of going through a lips product phase at the moment. I've shown this one before. It's my Maybelline 14 Hour Superstay Non-Stop Red number 510 lipstick. I wore this into town a couple of times within the last few weeks, and both times I was actually stopped on the street, and well, one time it was like by fellas just going, oh, those lips are amazing, blah blah blah, that kind of crap, but not in those kind of words, but you know what I mean. And then another time was just by girls asking me what was it and how like gorgeous it was. So that is the most beautiful, bright, kind of pinky cherry lipstick. It's unreal on, and it lasts for such a long time. I'm blown away by the quality of these lipsticks. Really, really, really highly blown away. I think they're about €11 maybe. And then I got this one, again kind of for the purpose of that video, but I love the colour. This is the Ravishing Rouge for $5.40. This is much more of a neutral true red, but again it is beautiful. It is just a really bright punchy red. For anyone who wants one of those like really bright Marilyn Monroe kind of red lipsticks, these are them, because they will last all day in you. The transference isn't that bad, they're not drying, and they're very affordable, so I would highly recommend those. Another red that I got, and I was so happy and dying to try this out for ages, is the Apocalypse. Everyone would have heard of the Rimmel London Apocalypse lip lacquers that were just recently released, and I am very late jumping onto this bandwagon, but I picked up number 400 Big Bang. Again, it's a very neutral red, so it would be similar in colour to the previous one there. It is just a beautiful just fiery red. It's a gorgeous fire engine red. And then on the flip side, I wanted to get something that I could wear like kind of very like that I'd get a lot of wear out of, and not just getting it for the sake of a video. I fell in love with this, which is Nude Eclipse 600, and I have it on my lips, so I don't really need to swatch it on my hand for you, but it's just the most beautiful wearable neutral. I would consider this a real bang on perfect neutral. It's not too peach, it's not too pink, it's not too brown, it's just a lovely neutral, and it's not so wishy-washy that it just looks like my skin colour, which is what I don't like about, say, Myth from MAC. Loads of people are in love with that. I just think it's too pale. It's too much like skin colour, which I don't really like. I still like lips to look like lips, you know, as in like still be a little bit deeper, but I love this colour. I just think it's fantastic, and so far the lasting power is gorgeous. It's not too sticky. It just wears really beautifully on the lips. I'm really impressed with that. Again, I showed these before. Try not to waffle about things too much because it's going to be really long. The Sleek True Colour lipsticks. They already had 20 colours in the range, and then they've added 10 extra colours onto the range, which are all kind of very, you know, up to date with beauty trends and stuff like that. This is the Russian Roulette. This is a very cool toned deep red. Very kind of like Russian Red is what I said before, and it is quite like Russian Red or Diva or something like that by MAC. And then I also love this Tangerine Scream, which would be kind of like Neon Orange or Morange by MAC. I'm just blown away by the quality of those, because they are such good quality, opaque, strong, long wearing, long lasting lipsticks for a very fair price. They're like £4.99 or $5.99. And then the final lip product I'll show you is this L'Oreal, I don't really know what it's called. I think it's Cassis or Caris. I'll have to look that up. I was actually kind of sucked in by the packaging. It's so luxurious looking. It's something like you'd expect to see in a high-end kind of beauty like store in Brown Thomas or in Selfridges or something like that, on one of those beauty counters. It's just so beautiful. I got this berry shade, which is number 402 Milady. It's a beautiful shade, it feels lovely on and all that kind of stuff. The only problem is it stains. So kind of, I don't know, I have to actually look into it. I haven't really done too much homework on it. I haven't like read too many reviews. I just picked it up, loved how it looked on, and it stains. It stains your hand, it stains your lips, which doesn't really bother me. Can you see that stain there? That's it from showing to someone yesterday, if you can see that little mark there. So it really lasts. So I suppose it is supposed to be staying on the lips. That doesn't bother me too much, but it would bother some people. Yeah, so I'll just put that out there. Quickly moving on, I have a couple of eye products to finish off. Yeah, that's it actually. And brushes, but the Clump Defy Mascara by the False Lash Effect by Max Factor. This is a brilliant mascara. I've been wearing it like pretty much every day this week. It does what it says in the tin. It doesn't clump up your lashes. I will be doing a blog post on it very soon, but I highly recommend it. It has a nice kind of curved brush with short bristles. The only thing I will say, I stabbed my eyeball with it a few times. Try and avoid that. Just be a bit careful when you're applying it on. They're very kind of pokey bristles, so it will hurt if you stab your eyeball, but you'll get amazing lashes from it. Just be careful when you're applying it. For people in the States who can't get their hands on Max Factor anymore, CoverGirl, their new non-clumpy one, is pretty much the equivalent of this. I don't know the price difference or anything like that about the CoverGirl ones, but They are sister brands anyhow, so the formulation is supposed to be practically the same. Have a look at that. I am still crushing on this Rimmel Scandalise eye pencil. This is the nude one. You probably won't see it against my skin, so there was probably no point in putting that up there. But it is just so opaque. Again, it gives such good colour payoff, and it's really, really good quality for a very low price. I have had no problem picking it up here in Galway. Other people said they haven't been able to get their hands on it, so it probably just depends on your locality and availability and stuff like that. But they are permanent, so you shouldn't have any problem picking them up in the future. They're waterproof, so they're brilliant for in on the waterline. That's what I love for them for, again, for bridal work. For eyebrows, quickly, I showed this about a year ago. It was sent to me by Vivo. They are a brand that are sold in Tesco's in the UK, so unfortunately I don't think they're available in Ireland yet, but I really, really love this Ultimate Brow and Eye Kit. I've been using it on my brows a lot lately, so because I'm trying to thicken out the end of my brows a little bit, so I've been using the dark powder and just one of my own angled brushes just for thickening out the tail, and then using a bit of the lighter powder through the thicker parts of my eyebrows just to give it a little bit more definition. This guy here, the Catrice Gel Eyeliner, Black Jack with Jack Black, number 10. Such an inexpensive product. You get loads of product. It's 4 grams. Yeah, for instance, the Black Track by MAC is a 3 gram product, whereas this is 4 grams. And it's a really, really fluid black gel eyeliner that lasts. I used it on a client recently. I used it on the back of my hand, and you know, I was working from the back of my hand when I was working on it, and when I went to clean off my hand, because I'd usually always use a baby wipe first to get rid of all the product initially, and it just wasn't moving. I had to continually wipe and wipe and wipe, and then use a waterproof remover, and it is brilliant. It doesn't dry as you're working with it though, which I think is great, so you have a lot of playtime with it. It's Catrice, it's very, very inexpensive, but great quality. So I'd highly recommend that for anyone who's looking for a great gel eyeliner that won't cost an arm and a leg. And then the final makeup products are, first is one of the new MAC paint pots, and it's the Vintage Selection Pro Longwear paint pots. As I've mentioned before, all the MAC paint pots are going to be pro longwear. They're going to be, it's not necessarily that, I don't know if that the old ones are being reformulated, because I always found that they were long wearing anyhow, but they're all going to be, they're all down as pro longwear paint pots. And if you go into the MAC like counters and MAC shops, they have new stands that have all the new products on them, the new paint pots, as well as the older ones like the Painterly and Indian Wood and that, and they're all down as pro longwear ones. They last for, I think, is it 8 hours or something like that on the eyes? I'm really bad at remembering times and stuff, but they're just, it's just a really lovely, like, girly shade, if you can see that. It's a beautiful kind of highlighty shade. I wore this on my eyes for that MAC concealer video, and everyone was asking me what had I on. It's beautiful again for bridal work. It'd be lovely for an everyday wear. You don't even need to put an eyeshadow over it. These cost €19 here in Ireland, and I just think they're fantastic. Other products that I have been loving, I think they're about €11 or €12. It's the Maybelline Colour Tattoo, like, paint pots. Well, they're not paint pots, they're just colour tattoo gel cream eyeliners, but they're basically like the same as paint pots. These just have really nice shade range. Now, they don't have as many colours as the paint pots now that MAC have, but a lot of the MAC colours are very neutral. Like, say, Indian Wood is a lovely golden one, and then the rest of them are all just very neutral. There's nothing very, like, really punchy. And so a couple of the newer shades, there's like kind of a bluey grey shade, and there's like a greeny shade, but they're still quite neutral. They're not very bright, so it's nice to get some that are really bright and still pretty much the same quality. This is, anyhow, sorry, it's the Endless Purple. I think these have different shade names in America. That's what it is here. These go on brilliantly on the skin. You can build up the coverage, you can put it on sheer. I have my new favourite one on my eyes today. So if you can see, literally on my eye here, it is this guy here, the Light in Purple number 85. I think this is a new shade. It's stunning. It's kind of like a silvery blue, and then when the light hits it in certain areas, it's a purpley pink shade. Like, it's just gorgeous. I mean, look at the way the light hits that. I'll try and zoom in for you. It's a real stunning, stunning shade. I mean, like I said, when you kind of have as much makeup as a lot of makeup artists do and a lot of us like YouTube gurus do and stuff like that, and then you kind of get a little bit, not bored, but you see a lot of the same stuff over and over again. When you see a new shade that really grabs you, it can be like really exciting and that's what I was like. There it is on the eye, so I've no powder over this part. I just think it's beautiful as it is. This is another one I picked up, so I only got this new, I haven't even swatched it yet, but I just love how these guys wear. This one is the Turquoise Forever. This has been on my shopping list for a long time, or my wish list, or my to get list. It's a gorgeous one. Be a bit similar to the Rollickin one that I have by MAC, which was a limited edition one, and they also had another kind of turquoisey one that they discontinued. It wasn't quite as bright as this, and it is nice having the option of the brighter colours. And then the colours I love would be this one here, which is the Permanent Taupe. This would be more of an everyday one that I use just for like kind of brown smoky eyes or whatever. And then this one here is kind of like my dupe of, it's not really the exact same as an Indian Wood, it's kind of like in between Indian Wood and maybe Constructivist by MAC. It's more a bit deeper than Indian Wood and it's lighter than Constructivist. It's the On and On Bronze, but it's a gorgeous goldeny bronze shade, if you can see that there. That's all those products. There are a couple more shades. I believe you have more shades in the States than we have here in Ireland anyhow. I'll check in the UK when I go over there next month to see how many different shades they have and what they have over there. But yeah, in the meantime, that's all the makeup. The only other things I wanted to mention, but I'm not going to go on about them because I've already mentioned them loads, it's the Zoeva makeup brushes. So a lot of people were complaining when I mentioned these in my last video, or in one of my last videos, like in my new products videos, that they went to order them and they had them all in the basket and then they saw that they don't deliver to the States. Now that obviously is a big bummer, but the only silver lining I have to share with you so far, and I will give more information in the actual video I do on these, is that if you go onto lovemakeup.co.uk, I think it's love_makeup.co.uk, but if you just Google it, and I'll leave information below, so don't worry about that. Well, you can buy them now on that, and I do believe that they ship internationally. I'm not 100%, but if you go into their like shipping part of their website, it like gives EU costs and then outside EU costs. So I'm nearly sure they ship internationally. Again, I'll try and give more information on that as soon as possible in the video for the review. But that's my favourites for now. Another long one, sorry about that, but I just do find it really, really hard to keep these videos short because I always have so many things that I get excited about that I really want to show you. And this is me leaving stuff out as well, because I didn't want to waffle on too much, which didn't really work out. Yeah, but I have another couple of videos I want to do for you this week if I have time. I don't think I'll do it today because I have stuff to do, but I'll try and get around to it. And in the meantime, I'll chat to you all really soon. So long, guys.